last night. Third, the technical debt issues that we think that we can have talks about it. I also love to show the latest roadmap that I made some edits on it with the help of Donna for show to make it more precise. It could be very good for us, even for the government side, to get align all the projects together. Yeah. So 4 agendas: fiat, Ashley's demo about the verification, technical debts, and roadmap. It's all from my site. I pass it on to Matto.
Hey guys, well, my intentions are basically what you have been saying, Monique. I'm interested in discussing those requirements and maybe check our roadmap. Also, maybe trying to give priority this week to distractions. I'm a little bit tired and there is some noises in here, so that's the only thing to worry about. Let's see what we come up this meeting. I'll pass it to Kai.
Hey, I have no special intentions, just to get up to speed with what's going on. No updates from my side and no distractions. I give it to Ramin.
Ramin.
Yeah, I'm here. Probably.
I said Ramin.
Ramin, okay. Ramin, go ahead.
Hi everyone. My intention is to sync with you guys for the next sprint, and I want to be helpful here. I don't have any distractions right now. I pass to Amin.
Thank you. I'm not distracted. I make it short and to dive into the agenda. I pass it to Donna.
I'm here. Hi everyone. I'm feeling good and I'm here. My intentions for this call is to get sync on what's the progress in development side and the Giveth and trace the integration, and especially through the roadmap and see the dependencies and how we can push the dependencies. And yeah, that's it. I pass it on to Cherik.
Hey everybody. My attention is attend to this meeting to be update for the state of the projects. My situation is changed to full-time. I'm full-time working on the in Giveth. So I want to learn about the structure of this meeting. I have no distractions. I pass it to Mohammed.
Hey everyone, sorry. My intention is to following up the stories that we did work on them, and to see what should we do in the next week. And yeah, that's it. Should I pass to who? I pass it to Monique. I don't know.
Angela, would you please take it?
I can take it. Oh, go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, my intentions for the call is just to show you guys the spreadsheet that I've been working on, to decide whether the current campaigns that are on Trace are verified or unverified or will be archived, because moving forward we've decided that all campaigns on Trace will be verified projects on IO. So I just wanted to show the status of that. I don't have any distractions, and I'll pass it to Lauren.
Yeah, my intentions are to just sync with everybody, take notes, and also talk or hear about like just maybe stabilizing the DApp more. I mean, we were just talking about on the other calls if this is like something that we could be putting steps to and like working on improving this sprint or not. I'll pass it to Griff.
Yep, I'm just hanging out, listening, and probably available for any comments. And I'll pass it to
me.
Sarah.
Me.
Oh, okay. Mia.
I'm just here to think and keep up to date, and I'll pass it back to Monique.
Thanks, everybody. If you want to add agendas, please direct me during the call. So let's start with the verification process and Ashley's requirements, on the trace side, and also, we have 15 minutes. Ashley, Mohammed, for your information, I invited her to describe what's going on, because I was not, fully fledged, with the process of she's, responsible for that. I really want you to know the all processes of, the verification and, maybe the requirements that affects or, design. Because we're talking about, putting a gateway between traces, and IO. And also you're going to work on, a give drop. There might be some, new requirements there. I really want you to know and have better interactions with, comms team and the operations team and maybe the, the verification process, whatever. And actually, please, add your requirements for the future and, the probabilities of maybe, changing the process after the token comes. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, as you guys know, all of the campaigns on Trace, before we used to have a system where after 6 months of inactivity, they would automatically be archived. But once we implemented the gas paying thing and we put all of those updates on each project of how much gas we had paid, it reactivated all these projects that hadn't been used for a long time. So I had to go through and see which ones were still active or being used, and which ones needed to be archived, because a lot of these projects under the current eligibility requirements for being verified, some of them don't qualify. So I created this spreadsheet that shows all the campaigns that are currently on Trace. The yellow ones show ones that will be archived. Either they haven't been used for a long time or they don't meet the requirements to be verified projects. The ones that are in blue are ones that I'm still trying to get in touch with the owners and see like what they want to do, whether they want to verify them or archive them. The dark green ones are ones that are verified or are verifiable, and some of them already have projects on IO, which you can see these check marks here. So whether they're verifiable by current standards, whether they've been active in the last 6 months, and whether they're on both platforms already. So I guess the only thing really is just like once we have this admin dashboard, I can go in and archive the trace or the campaigns, or you guys can go in the back end and archive the campaigns. But it's just majorly just like getting all of these ones that are already on Trace figured out whether they will be verified or not. And I guess moving forward, it's going to be the onboarding processes. They have to create a project on IO first and get it verified in order for it to be on Trace. So I don't think that this will be a continuing process once we take care of the ones that are already on there. I guess the question is that there are already a number of users on Trace that have the power to create campaigns. And so do we then revoke their power to create new campaigns? I think that that's something that we need to take into consideration. And then, just the process of putting the current verified ones onto IO and having that be reflected as projects on IO. So how do we go about transferring them over and showing them on Giveth.io as projects?
Thank you, Mohammed. I really want you, please, to take a look at these, checkbox. When we want to make the requirements, transparent. Uh, take a look what they're using it. And she has to have a a spreadsheet instead of the app to manage her work. So we have to forward something. When we talk about the backend side, the dashboard side, something that's help her do her job. For example, take a look active in the last 6 months. It's a feature that's tell the owner that, hey, to tell me what the project is, the active, for example, or she has a check box here on both platforms already. It has something. We have to show that, because if it change in every platform, the whole sheet, the status data, is corrupted. So we have to have it in the dashboard. And initial contact made. I definitely sure that after the there are lots of requirements right after the token gets live, or maybe before it, because the number of donations you're working with Fabio on it, I think. So it might be if the status of the verification is changed, it might change. We have to take a look at how much donations are valid. That's it. Is it clear for you?
Just one thing. When we say dashboard, we mean the dashboard that we would implement on Giveth.io. We have no dashboard on Terrace. We have one dashboard and should do all the things here. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Okay, gotcha.
We have to do it eventually, but it's a requirement, but we have to prioritize it. Right now we choose an admin bra, because we have to do it as soon as possible. But right after we may change it because it's a requirement.
Yes, I think the only requirement for the admin dashboard would just be the ability to archive a campaign, or I think that honestly that's really the only requirement for the dashboard.
And before the implementing the dashboard, do we need some manual stuff that I should do on the database? Or no? We should wait until the dashboard is ready.
Either way, I don't think that it's like time sensitive at the moment, but we'll definitely, by the time we launch the economy, want to have all these campaigns that aren't verifiable be archived. So the ones that you see in yellow will get archived, and then the green ones will get moved over to IO. The light green ones is like they're all Giveth campaigns that we need to decide whether we're still going to use, like the Giveth communications campaign. If we're still going to continue to use that, then that will also move over. And then the blue ones are just the ones that are like still figuring out whether they want to continue to use them or in the verification process of getting them verified. And so eventually those will either become yellow or green, depending on the outcome. Yeah.
Okay, I think it's clear enough for me as a requirement, Monique. So, but if I add any more question, I should ask from.
I have to make it clear, as a user story, and I want Mato know about it. Mato, do you have any comments? Get the old idea.
No, I think the current implementation of Admin Bro also allows to do this quite fast. So I understand that it's just a matter of deciding how to do it properly.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Do you have something to add? Shall we move to?
No, I guess the only requirement is from dev side. Mohammed can do anything that is needed, and the admin bro thing can be a short-term solution for.
I'm pretty sure that it takes.
For this time,
Sorry, I'm pretty sure that it takes so much time, even for Ashley, to sort these campaigns. Just sort them. having a query, for example, to grab all of the data and, for example, the title of the project together. So if you want to help her, we may have, kind of, regular meetings about knowing what they're doing exactly, with the project. With especially after, the gift drop, I think there might be some think about it. If the verification, for example, criteria is changed, or if we figure out that one project, has a fraud, so all the donations during that time might be, abandoned.
Not all of them. So there will be a nice I've proposed a nice 2-week process for verification, and so there will be time to look for fraud, and when we find fraud, we just the proposal is to remove no givebacks are given to any donors to that project for that round and the next round as a first warning. And then alongside making these things happen, Ashley has been begging for support from internal teams, but honestly, everyone is so on top of all these other things. I'm very excited to get Ashley some external support and find her partner in crime to make sure all this stuff gets implemented well.
Sorry, one question. So as I understand, we have a binary, or we should give them give back or not in that period. It's we don't need to say we should give them give back for the first week of this period, and for the second week we don't need. We don't.
No,
give them.
never.
We don't have such.
It's all or nothing.
It's easier. Thanks.
Yep.
Shouldn't it be kind of mistakes there? For example, we figure out that, that project, we missed that project, or for example, we mistaken about the verification, period, because we want to know that do we have to save the change of the verification period or not, maybe. Because if it's just true false, it's a picture of a time. At this time, it's verified. At that time, it's not verified. But we're totally blind about the history of it. If it's going to be just a true false.
I guess.
Yeah, I agree.
What would be the use case would be that we need to know why do we need to know when they became verified?
For example, you have a sheet of, for example, eligible, give back the donation, give back tokens, and for example, after couple of weeks, you say, we mistakenly counted. We have to change it because this project is not, verified from, for example, a specific period of time. If the verification is valid, during a time, should we keep it, or it's just the true false, forever? Is it a verification changed during? Or
no, it never changes during the round. The proposal for givebacks is that you have to have applied a week before the round for it to be considered, and then at the beginning of the round you're either in or out. If you become verified in the middle of the round, it only applies for the next round.
So it's very easier for us. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, the giveback spec has a lot of these things. It's worth the read. You can skim it, and it would be great to have comments if there's, because I think you guys see a very different perspective than I get to see. Tried to make it as easy as possible, but man, it would be great if you review the giveback spec, the MVP spec, and then point out any flaws that are in that idea before we get too far down the line.
Okay, thank you. So let me see. Let's move to our another agenda here. And did you guys have time to review the Fiat integration document that I posted in our channel last night? Ami, Muhammad, Metal?
No, I didn't have time. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
So let's go through the recent roadmap I created. I put the roadmap link in the Aleph channel, and I share it here too. Sorry. I think it's there.
Like, is it the Excel sheet that you shared with me, or it's the different one?
Sorry?
Is it the same Excel sheet? No, it's different.
Yeah. Well, that sheet was old, it was included the token economy. And, our estimation was wrong, I think. We think that we can launch the token economy at the end of September, according to our last, let me show you. This was retreat June. It was our...
I added there, so I can add that to the new one. That's why I asked.
Yeah. This was our last roadmap that you changed it. Dana?
I changed it. I added Giveth economy section. You can see another sheet called economy. I add that. Yeah, and I just break down the topics and just
I didn't have the history because you changed it. Yeah,
but I think mine is not finalized yet, so we can move on to yours and then we can.
Okay, so I think the deploy was on September, October. Did you change this part or not?
No. I think no. No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't.
So at the end of October, we have to deploy the economy. So that was what we think, that we can start Giveth.io and trace integration, and right after we start working on new design, and before that we working on stability of bridge and monitoring security giveback stuff. And we postpone the Fiat integration, as you see, from the March of the next year. But we changed a little bit. We add admin dashboard, and we add new design from trace from right after the December. I think that it takes time, for the design, buyers to finalize the, design for the Giveth.io, and we can start it after November. So it's, it's a disaster. It's too late for us if we want to have new design ready for, token economy, for launching the token economy with the new design of the app. And about the bridge stability, we plan to have it right now. They started working on it, and as you see, we are ready to start Giveth economy integration if you want to add services, or kind of, as you see in the new design, users can see how many tokens they have. And we think that we can start admin dashboard version 2 from March. because at the end of the October, the MVP should end. This is what I think, according to our talks with the stakeholders. But let's talk about it after we think that we have a kind of technical debts, and lacking from the design side. It could be changed because it's not finalized. So I just want you to talk about it. What do you think? I think Meta and Amin can help me during this. I just want to add an epic of technical debt. Maybe we can start the new design just in this time if we have design ready, and do it parallelly. Implementation of the new design and the technical debt. So we might be able to launch the whole gap with the token economy at for example, the November, December, according to edits done by Donna. I think the deploy is November. So you think that the deploy time is on November, but if you take a look,
it's not finalized, Monique. I just break down the more of the breakdown structure. I'm not. You can see all of them are at the same time, but I think I have to just. I have to just consult with Rick and Lauren and other people to just make it like more feasible. I just added some like work breakdown structure to it. So, but yeah, we think in 1 month we are going to be in a good shape, but still it's not finalized, so we haven't set any dates yet.
So
you have to bear with me for 1 or 2 days. I'm going to sort it out. Have a rough estimate. Yeah.
It's okay. So please leave your give your comments here. Especially, Mato, I think that we have to start, if we want to be on time, we have to start working on new design just this month, the October is, I think, 4 days, we have 4 days, just have 4 days to, from the October to start. So, and the designs, we have something from the, homepage and the project list, but it's not finalized. So if we want to postpone it, we have to see all the traces. We made omit some processes on the trace side, and we can finalize it in November. But I assumed that we don't have any technical debt. So is it okay that we in 2 months we finish the new design of the IO and make it ready for token economy launch, or it's not? Now I heard from Ramin, Amin, and Mohammed that there is kind of and we need to revise the timing. So please leave your comments. Amin, would you please?
Yeah, thank you. So for this, I guess we should. The user journey is not ready yet because the integration has not finalized. You and Mosaida, I guess you are working on it. After that, we should agree on some API between front end and the backend, which address all the requirements of user journey. All right. By the way, I'm not sure whether how much resources are available whether can Muhammad be fully fully dedicated to this project we are writing, how much others will work. And also it needs some collaboration with devs. As far as I know, we don't have any daily call, and we don't have collaboration between team members. So we should first of all estimate how many resources do we have. Muhammad, Amin are good. Matthew probably is good. And Jawad would not help us much, and I will not be ready for at least, I guess, 2 weeks. So after that, we can go if we are fully dedicate our time to this project, to this revise. I guess still it will not be ready in 2 weeks. Because as I said, the design is not ready yet, the API is not fully ready, and and we need doing some research probably, because we decided to this time write the backend in TypeScript and Nest.js, and also integrate the backends, and to have one backend in order to respond fast and support the queries like paginations and being fast responsive.
So let's be frank. I don't want to make it more very complicated for these stakeholders. Roughly minimum maximum. So design plus technical debt. Minimum maximum. I assume that okay. I assume
technical debt of the new design. No, we are making probably from the scratch, probably backend. Not from the scratch. We will port code from our previous backend. So technical debt in this matter does not have any meaning, because we are writing from the scratch, right? But we will get the working parts of the code, and we need some research, as I said. At least 3 months, I guess, or 4 months. But we can go forward with in agile procedure that for after every sprint we have some working thing. Maybe less, I don't know.
Assume the user journey is
let's give it 2 months or 4 months. 2 months or 4 months. If Mohammed, me, and Rami, and Matthew are fully ready for that, and fully collaborating and fully available for this project.
Okay. Assume that the user journey is finished. I have a gentleman agreement with Marco and Mossaidi that we can finish it. At least in 2 weeks, I think. So assume that the user journey is finished. We have Figma ready, and we just want to finish the design of the new design plus technical debt that make it ready for the launch time. Give me a minimum or maximum. You said minimum is 3 months. What about you, Mohammed? You're muted.
I don't think we can do it less than 3 months. I'm agree, and maybe more than 3 months. Yeah.
Metal.
The minimum.
Okay.
I was a little bit confused on what you mean with technical debts. You mean backend work, basically, or what do you mean with that?
The devs have to talk about it. Technical debt, voice technical debt. I think it's not just at the backend side, and we make it. Ramin, can you say about technical debts? You have issues for it, even at the front end side.
We have, as we talked, we have different issues on the front end. For example, some components are not reusable and some are not modular. And for example, the styled components. The styled components is repeated in every component. It shouldn't be like that. If we should define some global style components, and if we want to customize them for each one, we can customize it, but we shouldn't repeat it in every component. It makes the app some messy. And also I think the app performance, when you reload the app, it's much slower than Trace. I don't know, it's the problem of my internet connection, or but I asked other guys, and they said that the Giveth is slower, is a little slow. These are just some examples, and from these I mean that I think we need to a little revision on the code architecture to make it cleaner, reusable, and modular. And after that, we can start adding different features.
Okay, so then in that case, I agree with you. But I mean that maybe 3 months is not enough. Maybe more than 3 months can be needed for that. But in my opinion, we can also set maybe a minimum product for 2 months, and we can pick that as a first stage to deploy. It doesn't have necessarily to be like everything solved, everything perfectly done, and we can still try to do it. So for all completeness, I would say more than 3 months, but for a minimal product, we can pick 2 months.
Can I do a suggestion? Listen, because we have you, Monique, you are precious assets for our team. I guess this time we should deploy in the matter of agile. Follow the agile principle and implement a working, stable feature in every sprint, or a collection of sprint. Not that as before, that preparing all the thing and then patching. It will take more time and energy, and and we should not do the same mistake again. And probably, hopefully, we have dev team right now. We will be with us for all the life cycle of development, probably. And we will, because in Giveth Trace, for instance, devs left the Giveth, and we had a product that no one knew how it's working. And for Giveth IO backend, that's the same. We provided an MVP. We forked the impact graph from a ready project that James had. It was developed for another purpose. We brought that here. Just did some customization, but as we see that it lacks the functionality that we need. So based on our experience and current working code, we can practice the real Scrum methodology and that's it. I told. I pass it to you, Monique.
For sure. But because we have stakeholders in this meeting, and we have to. I just want to make it clear that the launch time would be when we define the exact launch time for it, and talk about it, because we have Donna, Lauren, and Griff here, and we have to make it clear. I assume that you and Sherik is working on the economy side, and we parallelly, after the design is ready, me, Mohammed, Ramin, and Meto working on the DApp side. So if it takes, for example, 2-3 months, I think that we can deliver both technical leads and the new design of the IODAP on the end of the December, roughly. If you agree, I think all the comments are the same. But I just want to know more about the Donna and Lauren and Griff. That end of December is a good time for launching. Can we, make it? Can we promise? Can we put all our efforts together for it? Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I think that feels a little late strategically for the token. I mean, is there not something that we can have like what Mateo said of like cutting the scope? I'm just making sure. Like honestly, like don't get me wrong, I love Trace, but it can be completely out of scope for the token launch and the integration. And we shouldn't delay the token launch for integrating Trace, in my opinion. And there's probably a lot of other things that we can keep out of scope, because if we don't launch in the bull market, that's a real challenge, I would really consider being like cutthroat on what we need to make sure is stable, which I believe it's just creating projects on IO and donating on IO. And I don't think that anything beyond that really needs to be like it needs to be redone and rehashed. I mean, we can get started on that task when we have the space, but I would prioritize initializing the economy. I mean, in the end, we don't have we really need to get this token out. And don't get me wrong, of course IO needs to be stable for most of the things, but
Okay, we hear you.
I understand.
Do you have something to add, Lauren?
No, nothing to add. I mean, I just kind of like echo that. I think that if we can kind of like narrow the scope and focus on like what's actually necessary for like Give economy, and I think all the stuff we're talking about with like, I mean, the technical debt and then improving like the stability, I think that should be a main focus. But then the stuff for like some of the details of the Trace integration should be as priority. Yeah.
So, and for Giveth.io, please correct me, but like, I mean, we can look at our deployments again, but I think Apollo should be like perfectly equipped to handle really many users. Maybe there are different bottlenecks. I can surely help to like look at stuff and how our throughputs are and stuff. That's so. I also think it would be cool to work with what we have, and we built Giveth.io as the MVP model platform to try out stuff because it's more simple. It would be insane to launch everywhere at the same time anyway, I think. And just a little detail, so it's true, we had contributors also, some people took shortcuts with our components in Giveth.io. We do have a global theming system in place. So and I always wanted to read that, so I don't have any really crazy obligations elsewhere. I can do some refactoring on that end. So also when a new design should be coming in, we are working more in the global component and not in the local ones. Yeah, that's something I can offer for this to reduce. It's not much, reduce the technical debt there. And if we know what is wrong, if we find something that is wrong or is a bottleneck, I'm also down to help with that. Might it be stronger machines, or like I said before, if we know who we are looking for, I can also try to find somebody to help.
Thank you, Guy. We really miss you, man. Sorry, I think I missed you in intentions, distractions. However, thank for your help. For sure, I will contacted you right after. So take a look at it. So for new design of the trace, we may postpone it. Let me put it 1 or 2 months later. For the integrations, I think I think that we can start it at the January. So all the related things can be postponed, but we have extra resource here, Jawad. So Jawad might be working on the structure, but let's not spend our resources on this item according to our talks. So it can be started at January. But it's October and we don't have design ready. I think it takes at least a month or a couple of weeks for finalizing the process and the user journey and all of the design stuff, and right after we can start implementing it. So if we take a look at it, very minimum, I think it still takes 2 months at least, for having a new design and implement it. We're talking about this item. And about the give back economy integration and give economy integration. On trace side, we can postpone it for sure. I think it's not very important right now. But for give economy, I think we can do it right after, even at the October before it gets finalized. We can have APIs for it and start working on it. And but Griff, I don't think that we can deliver it sooner than the end of December. If we have a rush on finalizing the user journey and the finalizing the new design for the project donations, we might do it. But if we take a look at real, I don't think that we can deliver it sooner than the December. What do you think, guys? Please leave your comment.
Before Griff says something, I wanted to say something, which is the reason why I would like end of December is because the other thing was, I think, the bull market. That's a very amorphous thing. It comes and goes, and I also think we will be there, but it might taper off sooner than we think, or we don't know. But what end of December always is like Christmas, and the time when we say, hey, all those nice gains, great job, why don't you, support somebody a little with those gains? And we could make a Christmas campaign out of it.
I mean, Mohammed,
I'd rather make a Thanksgiving campaign.
Yeah.
November is for giving, ma'am. November is when all the giving dates hit for all the people getting their stuff in. It's a really
you mean American Thanksgiving?
Yeah. Yeah. I am curious I guess I just want to see if we can cut the scope and try to get as stable as possible for mid-November, and try to live within that timeline. And if it means that we have to do more work later and we're cutting corners, I'm sorry, that sucks, for sure. But it really, you guys got to remember, we're just bleeding money every day. We don't have any sustainability. It would be really nice to have our token economy last month, 3 months ago. It's really in our best interest to just push, make as few blockers as possible for launching. Of course, donating on Giveth.io has to work really well for thousands of people, and making a project on Giveth.io has to work really well. we don't have any Trace users really besides me. So like Trace doesn't have to work. Don't get me wrong. Of course it should work, and it does work. It's incredible right now. It's never been this good. But there's just like, we just have to look at what we really need and then make sure those things work. And if there's something that we can live without, we live.
I think it's clear right now for all of you. I just want to make all the teammates know the milestone, shower it together for it, put their skin in the game and try to do it. So we know our priority. I personally want to have Mosaidi, with us every day, working and finish. It has to be finishing in these weeks. 1 or 2 weeks. It had to be finished, because we just want to start it right now. And after that, let's forget about the integrations, Mohammed, with admin bro stuff. We can do it later. And but I think personally that revising the front end code, and having a stability in the backend side, is a good idea for having. Is it good? I think we can do it. It's a challenging target for the team. I mean, I want to see your face and a thumbs up and a metal, please.
No face for me, but I say thumbs up. Yeah.
Okay. So we love you, man. And okay. And Dana, do you have something to add, or Lauren, for the token economy side? I don't want to, nobody get blocked. If you have concern, please let us know.
I think there's anything to add. We kind of covered a lot of it in the Give sprint call. So I think Cherik is almost empowered, and I'm talking to Mosaidi for design stuff, but nothing else I have to add there.
Thank you.
I just want to add, Amin has concerns about the resources. Do you think, if we get more resources, we can just get it done sooner? Or, cut the scope, and maybe you can have resources. That's Amin's suggestion. So
about the economy, I guess it's enough right now, because onboarding the front end.
Not about the economy, about the Giveth.
No, I guess if you don't want to overhaul the backend, maybe Mohammed can do the requirement. I guess. I believe so.
Guys, you change mind. Okay, so.
No, because we changed the plan, because we want to keep the current backend, maybe for solving the issue with the Giveth trace and traceable project. Showing Giveth IO, we can do some make some shortcut, for instance, creating some dummy project instance in Giveth IO that represent that Giveth trace. Maybe I will discuss with Mohammed more about how we can make it in short term. But yeah, I hope it solved the issue for the that's it. Solve the issue, and we don't have any technology after. Yeah. Sorry
interrupting you. We're talking about the over. I try to make it more clear. If you have dependencies, put it in a roadmap and make it clear. So we postponed all the stuff, and let's do it in the mid-November. Mid-November, I think, is a good time for MVP and launch both dApps and token economy. Let's do it. Have a good time. Thank you for your.
Thank you.
Thank you, Monique.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Have a good day.